Hi there, my name is Julia Palco, and I'm here today to talk about three great mysteries for older elementary students. Third, fourth, and fifth graders are sure to love these mysteries and all the rest of the books in the three series I'm going to highlight. The first book I'm going to talk about is an A to Z mystery by Ron Roy called Sleepy Hollow Sleepover. Like all the other A to Z mysteries, this book follows friends and main characters Dink, Josh, and Ruth Rose on their adventures. This time, the trio is staying in a cabin rented by Dink's father to attend a Halloween party hosted by the town of Sleepy Hollow in New York. Sleepy Hollow, as in the home of the famous Headless Horseman? That's right, the story takes place in the town where the legend is said to have taken place, and indeed the trio of friends encounter the horseman and a variety of other mysterious events as shown in this excerpt. Just then, a girl on the other side of the circle yelled, "Oh my gosh, look!" Everyone stared at her. No one knew what she was yelling about. "No, over there," the girl cried. She pointed into the woods where Dink had chased his pumpkin. Through the trees, they could all see flames shooting into the sky. "The hay wagons are burning," one of the officers yelled. Everyone started yelling. All the kids jumped off the stumps. Dink saw Officer Clever yank his cell phone from his pocket. "Fire department, quick!" He yelled into the phone. He then charged into the woods towards the flames. The kids started to follow. Officer Clever turned around and spread his arms. "No, you kids stay here. We'll take care of this." In the end, Dink, Josh, and Ruth Rose solve the mystery and make new friends along the way. This mystery is great for kids who like being just a little scared, as there are plenty of creepy encounters throughout the book. The second book I'm going to talk about is from the Boxcar Children's series by Gertrude Warner and is called The Mystery of the Mummy's Curse. Siblings Henry, Jesse, Violet, and Benny are visiting the Greenfield Museum with their grandfather when he introduces them to Pete, the curator at the museum. Pete reveals that the museum is getting ready to host a new exhibit about ancient Egypt and invites them to come see some of the artifacts that will be on display along with a real mummy. But while viewing the artifacts, they learn that the museum seems to be having some issues getting the exhibit ready. That's when the kids volunteer to help out. As they are preparing an unused hall in the museum, the mummy's curse seems to strike as some of the artifacts begin to go missing, and that's when the Boxcar Children find themselves with another mystery. Here's an excerpt from the book. At last, Violet asked what they were all wondering. "Did someone break in?" "Looks that way," Henry said. "We locked the door last night, so whoever it was must have picked the lock." "Wait a minute," Jessie said suddenly. "If someone was trying to get in, they'd pick the lock from the outside, right?" she asked. "They'd have to," said Henry. "Well, look at these scratch marks." The children bent and looked where Jessie was pointing. "So?" Benny asked. "If someone was trying to get in, he or she would be on the outside of the door, right?" Jessie asked. "But the scratches are on the inside." "So the lock was picked from the inside," Henry said. "So that means," Violet began. "Someone was trying to break out," said Jessie. The children looked back into the room. They looked all the way down to the other end where the coffin lay, and then they noticed something they hadn't noticed before, something even more frightening than the picked lock. The lid of the coffin was open. Soon enough, the culprit is caught, and the kids are able to help the museum complete the exhibit just in time for the opening night. This book is great for kids who have an interest in history or ancient Egypt, as facts are given about that time period as the story unfolds. The final book I'm going to talk about today is a Real Kids, Real Places mystery by Carole Marsh called The Mystery of the Alamo Ghost. This book follows Christina and Grant, who are on a trip with their grandparents so that their Mimi can work on her next mystery book. While in jail, or the hotel they are staying in, which used to be the town jail, they meet two local children who are also to star in the book, and later that evening they get their first clue that all isn't well at the Alamo. Christina grabbed her brother and snatched him back even further from the smoking wood. "Be careful," she warned. "You could have gotten burned or even caught your clothes on fire." But Grant continued to stare just beyond the barrel. "Didn't you see?" he asked her. He seemed very upset. "The barrel didn't just fall over. Someone pushed it. I saw them." "Them who?" asked Christina with skepticism. Surely her brother was imagining things. Grant bent over and brushed his knees. Tiny fireflies of embers had landed on his legs and stung. "Ouch, ouch, ouch," he said as he swatted at his knees. "Who?" Christina demanded. "Who did you see push the barrel over?" Her brother turned his little face up to hers. "The ghost," he said matter-of-factly. "The Alamo ghost." Christina grabbed her brother by the hand and tugged him back towards the safety of the sidewalk and hurried him back towards the restaurant. You know you didn't see any ghosts, Christina told him. She didn't believe he had. Surely it was just his overactive imagination hard at work. Besides, while Mimi loved to put ghosts in her mysteries, she would not like her grandkids to tangle with any real ghosts. I did too, Grant insisted. If you don't believe me, take a look at this. He pulled a piece of charred paper from the waistband of his shorts. I picked this up from the ground. It had to be stuck on a stick of the wood as a warning. That's why the ghost pushed the barrel over, so I would see the note and get it. More clues follow the first as kids get a tour of the Alamo where they learn of its more recent troubles and continue to explore San Antonio. But the night before they are set to go home, Christina, Grant, Juan, and Rose are able to solve the mystery of who has been lurking around the Alamo. This is another great book for kids who are interested in history or traveling to the San Antonio area, since they can visit the actual locations mentioned in the book, since they are real. I hope you enjoyed learning about all three of these great books. Happy crime solving, detectives!